everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are going over power rankings, but we are not doing your standard old power rankings that you might see here. This would look like how the collegiate teams did in the season. Who cares about that nonsense? Congratulations to Northwood there. Who cares about that nonsense? What we're interested in today is the mascot power rankings. Who's got the best and the worst mascots? So we've limited it to the top 16 teams that finished this season here, as we saw. But we're going to be going through, looking at their mascots, putting them where they belong based on the mascot that they've got there. So let's go ahead and start out with, we'll start out here. UC Santa Cruz, and they are the Banana Slugs. And I have to say, the decision to be Banana Slugs, that's pretty creative. The mascot itself, that costume, looks to be pretty quality. It does have a little bit of a, are we looking at an alien ring to it? You know, humanoid banana slug, the ear things, the antenna things, I guess not really ears. Those are a little weird. You know, we've got eye stalks, but then we've also got eyes on it. It's a little bit weird. Maybe it's too much to put it up here, but I like it. I'm going to go with the top tier of creative for our UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. Then we're going to move on to Swoop, and this is the Utah Utes, and I like it. This is, you know, a bird person here. We've got a bird. It's actually pretty high quality. If I were to pull open a copy of it, we can see over here that Swoop looks like he's been pretty well done in terms of the quality that we're looking at when we do get to see images of him, this sort of thing. Consistently looks to be like a quality mascot there. Works for me. It's a solid mascot. It's not terrifying me or anything like that. Then we move on to University of Florida, and I gotta say I like this one. Looks like they pretty regularly run out with a pair there, a pair of mascots, and they do go with what we think of when we think of Florida, these swamp creatures, you know, with their giant toothy mouths, all that. It's not a common animal for a mascot, so I like it. We're definitely going to put this up in the top tier. I don't think it's quite as good as the Banana Slugs, both in costume quality and in what the mascot is, but it's a pretty darn solid one. From here, we're going to move on, and we've actually got UC Irvine. And, you know, the UC system seems to have some strong mascots, because I want to put this one up here. We've got the UC Irvine Anteaters, and again, what an animal to be your mascot. That's a good one to go with. And also, this costume is pretty solid. You know, we could get even more ridiculous with our snout for eating things, but I like it. I'm going to go with the Anteaters as another top-tier mascot here. And then we're going to move through another pretty strong one here. We can get into a little bit of a story on this one. This is Penn State. They've got themselves a lion here. It's fine. Apparently there's been lawsuits between one of the mascots back in 2008. So the person who dressed up in this suit, it's not a real thing. I know people dress up in the costumes. Sorry if I shattered anyone's illusions. But apparently there was a lawsuit between the person who was their mascot pre-2008 and them over, you know, ideas around the Big Ten, things like that. So, fun little tidbit there. It's a solid mascot. It can move around. I'm good with it. I don't think it's as high quality as we saw from Swoop here in terms of the construction of it, but solid mascot. Definitely wouldn't be ashamed to have that as the mascot for my school. We'll move on to Northeastern. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this guy here, Northeastern Husky. Everyone loves a good Husky there, and then the quality of that one looks pretty nice. Got some good color schemes that fit for it. I like that one. We're going to go with it. Next up, we've got Northwood, and Northwood's mascot, I think, looks okay, but I've got to knock it a bit for how far it is from their logo. If we go look at, like, Northwood's logo, they've got that timber wolf, that big, scary timber wolf. And then we have this, like, clown of a timber wolf here. Like, here, let me pull up a Northwood timber wolf. Let me pull up one of these guys just to get a little bit bigger of a picture for you guys. But we look at this, and oh, I had it. No, they're not going to give me a good mascot shot. Sorry about that. Anyway, you'll have to take my word for it. What we're looking at here is the mascot's kind of goofy. Like, you're these big, scary Timberwolves with your logo, and then your mascot is goofy. And even when they've done remakes of their logo that are more in the realm of, no, our logo is now this foot pad, this, paw print as opposed to it, this is still just not really going to do it. They get some points for the double mascot here, don't get me wrong, but hey, it's gonna make that's fine. Wouldn't be embarrassed to have it as my mascot or anything, but it's just not at this higher tier level that we've seen here, or even as good as some of our other more standard mascots here. Moving over to Boise, I got no problems with it. Let's go ahead and drop it in here. Not much to say about Boise's mascot. Similarly here, I think, hey, we're going to take a look. Not a huge deal in terms of what we're looking at. Who was this one? This one was Maryville, I believe. Maryville Saints. It's fine. Saints, dog, whatever. We'll deal with it. I don't think there's anything too wild about this. Just kind of a standard mascot, whatever. Then things get a little more interesting. Scad, I'd like to move you up a tier. I'd like to put you in the creative tier. I really would, but I can't do it. The construction of this mascot, the quality of what we're looking at with this bee here, like bee is a good animal, a fun animal to work with there, but the construction just really isn't doing it for me. Doesn't look like a well sewn together costume there. Not quite as good as what we're looking at with like the quality that we see in Swoop here, or that we see in the Banana Slugs or the Anteaters for the level of the costume itself. So that one's holding them back a bit, even though they've definitely got a creative animal there. That mascot outfit itself, just not really gonna do it. Speaking of ones that have mascot quality that isn't really going to do it for me, I am going to go ahead and bump down ISU pretty hard here. ISU, people thought that they were going to be the champions in Overwatch this year, the Redbirds, those, multiple Overwatch League team players, 4 players that went on to Overwatch League teams. People expected them to win, and they didn't. And, it's going to turn out that when we look at their mascot quality, that we've got very much a similar problem. So, I'll pull this up to give you guys a slightly better view. And what we're going to see is, hey, that's cool and all. Oh, let's pull that back up. My apologies. That's cool and all, but the quality on this mascot, it looks a little rugged. It looks a little falling apart. We can click into a different one. We're not going to get any great images, but the quality that we're looking at doesn't look amazing on this bird, okay? Again, the quality of this bird, not really doing it for us. So we're going to need a better mascot. That's not quite going to do it. I suppose we could go back in time here. This is probably isn't really their official mascot person, but this isn't really going to do it in terms of the quality of the mascot there. So, afraid I'm going to have to knock them for that one, and they'll just have to live. Which brings us on to our last tier. And, we're going to pretty easily put, oh my goodness, my eyes. So, this is the Converse Valkyries. That is a plastic mask that person is wearing. That is something I never want to lay eyes on again. That Valkyrie is quite painful. We really don't need to do that. Here, I'll pull up another image of it for you guys. That is terrifying. The stuff a 3-year-old wakes up to and goes, oh my goodness, it's a doll that's gonna take me out of my sleep, that sort of thing. No, we do not want anything to do with that. So that's definitely it hurts. And then to go with that in the it hurts category, my eyes, is going to be the University of Texas Dallas Comets. Comet, certainly creative for a mascot. Can't really knock them for that. But let's be serious. That is not a good looking mascot. That mascot is... it's creative, it's different. It is not, however, something that I would want to have as my school mascot, certainly. That, hair like that toothy smile. No. Can definitely do without that. Don't need that one. So, Some of you may notice that we are not, in fact, looking at 16 mascots in our top 16 schools here, and that is because, as far as we can tell, actually I did check with a couple Harrisburg students, looks like they don't have a mascot, HU Storm, Harrisburg. They do have sort of a whirlwind logo thing, that's what they think with there, but they do not have a whirlwind running around their campus. They should get right on that, they should fix that, they should definitely have a costumed whirlwind running around their campus, that would be great, but they don't currently have that. When it comes to Illinois Orange, as we would have known them here in this, what we see is that they used to have a chief as a mascot, one of those controversial ones. We're talking Native American type chief. Maybe that wasn't even officially their mascot, but it sometimes got used as mascot. Whatever the case was, they seem to have not replaced that based on my findings there. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about someone else's mascot. You guys will have to let me know in chat or in comments here. But they previously had a chief of sorts. They don't have that anymore. Apparently, they actually one time marched this out as their mascot, and that's a, big bird with a blue mohawk monstrosity. I don't know what that was, but that's not going to make our list because it looks like it only got marched out once there years ago and doesn't seem to really be their mascot. And then the last one that we didn't cover, who did we get there? Harrisburg, Illinois, Bay State College. Doesn't seem like they have a mascot either. If they do, I missed it, wasn't able to find it here. But this is what I'm going to do for my power rankings for the mascots. I think we've got a couple great ones up top in Santa Cruz, in Irvine, and in Florida in their alligators, anteaters, and banana slugs, respectively. I think we've got, some pretty quality, reasonable, standard mascots, different levels of construction to them, but some quality mascots going through our standard category here. And then we have a few monstrosity. Hey, you tried to get creative, and oh my goodness, please don't ever do it again. You've failed type category. So that's really what I wanted to see there. Okay. Let's take a look here. So now we'll go ahead and catch up on chat. Pretty sure half of these are Dragon Ball Z villains, right? Banana Slug top tier agreed. Could be. New mic picks up the room echo. Okay, I'll work on it. Obviously, it's a process to get that one right. I experimented with it quite a bit yesterday, but it is going to take me some doing to get that right, I'm sure. One of those filters? You mean one of those filters like... No, can't reach it. I'm too delayed to see if that's going to show it to you guys appropriately. Oh well. Okay, fine. Yeah, we're working on it. Okay. Lower volume and closer to mic, perhaps. Can't get too much closer. I mean, I could literally... I could whisper into it like this, guys. Is this better? Some temporal AMSR? No, okay. There we go. Okay. Temp meme tier list. There we go. Okay. Overwatch characters that I could beat in a fistfight tier list one. Ooh, there's a good one. That we could do. Got class right now, but this is fun. Hey, EMF. Glad you enjoyed. Okay. CU didn't make it on here because I went with the top 16 teams only. Digging through, for the top 40 teams would have been quite a bit. I didn't want this to be an overwhelmingly long video. If there's a ton of great reception for this one, maybe we'll dive deeper into the tier list, or maybe this can be the true motivation for schools to do better. If you want to get onto the mascot tier list, you gotta first win well enough in Overwatch to make it into the top 16. Can't be considered if you can't make it far enough. Okay. Just messing with settings, yep. Okay, that's gonna do it. Glad you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.